Alright, so I am back, and today we are going to take a look at the Microblaze Creations Military Titans. I think that's all it's called, Military Titans. The Onslaught. And here he is in his robot mode. And yeah, he's a big boy. I have countless issues with this set. All quality control related. But he does look nice. He's back heavy. That is one thing to be wary of. He is very back heavy. He doesn't have heel spurs. So he's basically just straight up and down. And that's why a lot of Transformers this size has heel spurs, so that they're not so back heavy. He's fidgety. Things don't stay tabbed in as well as they should. Joints are loose. And overall, just not... It's not a high quality product. The design looks amazing, and the stylization of it looks great. I would have loved to see Mastermind Creations do this figure, because they would have been able to do the stylization and just knock it way out of the park. This company, they hit the ground running and tripped and fell and landed right on their face, in my opinion. So, not to mention, let's talk about the delays and all that other stuff. So we've already looked at all the accessories that came with him for everybody else for the most part. There are still a few left for combined mode, and we'll get to that later. But for him, what he's got is these two big dual cannons, which, they're supposed to tab together, but they don't hold together at all. You have to have them tabbed in order for them to hold together. That's just how it's designed. You could have made a tab together, and it's got these big, huge screw on the front here, and those do look bad. If they're gonna leave big screws like that, they should have put it on the bottom side where we wouldn't be able to see it. But as it is, this sits like this. So, at some point I'm going to try and take it apart and see if I can just flop them out, or switch them out. But, as it sits now, whoop-de-doo. You guys can tell I'm not that overwhelmed with this figure. Posability. His head is on a... Is that a ball joint? Yeah, it's on a ball joint. So he does a little left, little right, little up, down, and some side to side. But the way it's designed, he does more like an up side to side. So that does look nice. For a figure this big and hulking, that's the best way to do the head. Arms can go up and down, in and out. Due to massive amounts of kibble, they do get hindered. He's got this piece here coming up. He's got this piece here going back. He gets caught up on the wheels. Yeah. There is a bicep swivel, really tight. Doesn't seem to want to go out that way, but it will go in. Yeah, it's got a locker in there, so it won't go the other way. Elbow, nice ratchet, really nice ratchet. Forearm swivel. Hands do nothing. Waist does nothing. Hips up and down, in and out. Due to these fin blade things here, they do get caught up, so be warned on that. He's got a swivel right above the knees, and he bends at the knee. Foot can pivot out, and then the toe can pivot because it's on a ball joint. But I mean, this does no good whatsoever. I mean, you can balance the little toe out, but the bulk of the foot is still out. So, you got to move the whole foot with the toe. So, it's kind of like pointless to have a toe if you got to move the foot with it anyway. I'm just saying, it doesn't work as well. And there is no heel spur, none whatsoever. I mentioned that. And he's got these things here that kind of lock into place, but that don't really. And yeah, all around, he's kind of a mess. But he looks good. If you're wanting a really good looking Onslaught from the game to sit on your shelf, this is definitely a good option. Because the other option is this little dinky guy. You can fold these up if you want to, although that's more for combined mode. As you see, definitely an improvement over him, but no, just all around an improvement over him. I was about to give him credit. His plastic quality is better, though. He feels solid. He feels hollow, and like I don't want to test the tolerance on this plastic. So there's that. I think they I mean, obviously they tried their best to get it right, but ultimately I don't think they did the best job with the quality, and that's a big thing. You know, if you can't get plastic quality good, then you have no business in this industry. I mean, look at Mastermind Creations, though. They did, their first release was the first version of the whatchamacallit, the Night Morpher. Night Morpher Commander was their first figure, and that figure was pretty good. But the plastic quality on it wasn't great. So they were able to bounce back from that, and now they're putting out the best quality out there. Hands down, the best quality out there. Most people would agree with me on that. Some people would argue Fans Project, but I've only had one figure break with me on the on Mastermind Creations, and that was the thumb of Bovis. I'm just trying to transform the other Onslaught into vehicle mode so that we can compare that when we get him into it. There we go. Alright, so what we got to do here, first off, we take these pieces off and toss them off to the side. Why? Because he has the parts for them. Poor plastic quality, not the best engineering, not the best posability, and parts forming. Now, I understand these things are part of the chest piece when we get him into combined mode, and I would have preferred if it just came off and set off to the side. It doesn't need to be a part of the figure, because it doesn't really add all that much aesthetic to him. So, I mean, I would rather it just come off and go away rather than sit there and do nothing. Anyway. Alright, so you fold this up, or open this up, and you flip the hand in. Everything's really super loose here. But once it locks in, it's pretty good. So, open it up. Open it up. Flip the hand around. Collapse it. good to go. All right. Let's see here. We'll just pull this pieces out and down, get those out of the way, pull the head up like so, and then we pull the whole hip assembly back. And now we've got this whole exploded truck going on here. Then you take this piece here and it will hinge out like this, and there's this little tab right there that'll plug into this little slot right there, like so. Then this will fold up like so. I was looking at this piece and thinking like, oh, I gotta attach it there. I don't know. A long day. All right, then fold the feet up like so. All right. And this will come down, and then you just tab these two together, and it holds very, 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 very loosely. All right, and then we want to take this assembly here and fold this in. Rotate this around like so. Do the same thing over here. So what we want is it bent at the elbow down here, so this tab is near the forearm, and then this is up here like this. And this is just a mess. This is really a mess. I do not appreciate this kind of a mess going on here. It's like they didn't have to try so hard with the engineering. I really hate when companies do that. They don't need to go so overboard with this stuff. I mean, a complex transformation is great and all, but when you get to that point where you're sitting here like me, trying to figure it out, parts are flying off. You did something wrong. So you tab these two together like so, and this will all just kind of tab together like that. Like I said, it's an atrocious mess. Then you take the piece that flew off. We'll just attach that back on. It's just on a mushroom peg, so it's not on there very well. Alright. And then you want to fold this up. There's a little slot right in there that this tab right here will plug into. So. And then you take this assembly. What you want to do here is you will rotate the wheels down, and then just kind of hinge this out, and then this will rotate around and fold down, and then there's a little tab right here, or a little slot right there that this tab right here will plug into, like that. Same thing over here. This will come up like this. Fold these pieces down, get those out of the way. And essentially what we're trying to do here is there's this little tab right there that's going to plug into that slot right there. So you kind of have to finagle things until you get it in there. Goes back in. That back together, put those back in, fold this down, and then you take the head here and it just folds in, and it's on a little slider joint right here, so you just kind of pull this all the way up, and then this will come down like so. What is wrong here? That's not right. There we go. Rotate the wheel around. So this rotates around, then we plug it back in that same spot. Oh, and essentially, there you go. This green piece right here just kind of stays in the way. I'm pretty satisfied with that. Let's try. Yeah, that one does it too. It's a little bit better. Yes, I do have two of them, and I was kind of looking at the other one, trying to remember how to transform this damn thing. It's just such a mess. Is the big problem here? Yeah, it's got one little hook holding these legs together, and these slight little tabs on the sides here that are holding the thighs into the legs. Yes, everything kind of collapses into the chest pretty well. But nothing's holding the legs in place. This green piece really needs to fold up a little bit more, but there's no clearance for it. And see, this one's the same thing. It's just kind of hanging out there, and it doesn't roll very well. Oh. I almost forgot. You got to take these stupid parts forming bits here, and these just plug in here, and they do absolutely nothing for aesthetics, and they do nothing for holding the thing together. And the foot fell off again. So I mean, if they were to, I'd probably like them better if they were to somehow clip the legs together, because that's probably one of his biggest problems. Is just he's floppy. He's a floppy mess, and it's I don't like it. It's just wow, just wow. I don't even know what to say here. And then you take these stupid guns here, and they will slot together like this, and then it holds together no, it doesn't. I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't do anything better. And then what you got to do here is on the inside of the forearm, there's this little kind of circle doohickey thing. You slide that in. These will tab together. And there you have the cannons. And see, now the screw holes are facing the inside, and that makes it look a little bit better. But I am just blown away with this thing. I don't even know what to think here. It doesn't roll very well, so it fails its entire purpose of being a truck. It just all around, and it doesn't hold together well. That's the big thing. You know, it can't roll, can't hold together very well, and it just isn't a very good design when it comes to the transformation. The transformation could have been done a lot more fluid. This is just bad. And here he is with the actual Hasbro version, who's got numerous problems too, primarily keeping the gun in place, but at least it does roll very well. So it does its purpose as a truck to roll. And he's still, I mean, it looks pretty similar. It just does it being half the size. And as far as the Microblaze add-on kit goes, you know, you get a whole new trailer and bigger guns to add on to the thing, and it just looks so much better. I don't have it together, and I'm not going to waste you guys' time waiting for it. Well, let's see. Yeah, I don't have it all the way together, but I got it part way together. But this is the bruticus set, and this would just kind of slot in there. It's got like little add-on bits that'll hold it together, and so you get this, and I think that's a better option than that. Yeah, Onslaught should be bigger than the troops. I agree. I say that too. I've been saying, you know, the core bots always need to be bigger than the troops, or at least one scale bigger. I've always said that. But in this particular case, you're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't, really. Because this thing is a nightmare for its robot mode. Or for vehicle and robot mode. So let's get it back into the robot mode. So you take these pieces off. Take these pieces off. Flip the foot down. Pull this assembly out. Pull this assembly out. And like so. Then you want to pull this down, and this will fold around and slot into place very loosely. Pull this down, slot it in very loosely. Yeah, and some people might hate on me for not liking this figure, but I'm just calling it like I see it. I really hope I hope the rumors of the Hasbro one come true for the Combiner Wars, because I would like to see a new Bruticus. So fold this up, head comes down, slide this down, like so. I'll allow you to plug the head into place, like so. Take the wheels here, this will rotate back around like so, and then you just kind of fold these up like so. And there's nothing up here to hold them into place. They just kind of sit. This will come around, and there's a peg right here that this hole right there will plug into. More pieces are flying off. If you could just see that. I got some good distance. Oh, man. This will come up. Yeah, I got my first version of this set from a friend, and he sent it in combine mode, and I was just drooling over it. I'm like, that looks so gorgeous. And then I made the mistake of transforming it, and I broke the first set. Broke pieces off the first set. And then I ordered another set, and ever since then I've not been having very much fun with it. And hopefully I can get into combine mode for you guys tomorrow so that I can put it away and never look at it again. Or sell it. There's a good chance I'm going to sell this thing. So you flip these panels out here. And then we take these doohickeys here, and you want to put, so there's a little slot right here. They'll plug into this hole right there, this peg right here, and then you also want to line up the port there that will plug in there. Like so. Same thing on this side. And voila. You take the guns here and you can plug them together, sort of, and then you can either plug it into his forearm, you can plug it into his back, maybe up here if you wanted to, or just put it in his hand, and there you go. You got Mess of Onslaught. Mess of Onslaught. Size comparison time. Let's start with the Seeker mold. And this kind of works. It's not perfect, but it does kind of work having Onslaught bigger than the Seeker because he's the core bot of Combiner and should be a little bit bigger. Areas with the Brainstorm, which is about the same size as the iGear Seekers. So if you want your Starscream about the same size of Onslaught, then this is the way to go. But just remember that the core bots are going to be smaller. Here he is with the Rodimus, and this kind of works. I think Rodimus should be bigger because he's a leader, but you know, it's okay. Here is the Megatron, Fall Cybertron Megatron. This doesn't work very well. I'm okay with the Seeker being smaller, but Megatron should be almost the same size, if not the same size. So, Masterpiece Prowl. And this works. Size-wise, it works. Not design-wise. Let's see, before we do his troops, again, we'll do Fall Cybertron Onslaught. You know, he's got some clear plastic. It's not light piped, I don't think. No. There's no light piping in it, but so he's got some clear plastic eyes, which kind of make him look a little dead. But you can see his eyes perfectly from here because they're painted on. So I like his paint scheme a little bit better. Let's see here. Here he is with Razor Claw. And this looks pretty good together, especially since we know the Warlord becomes Well, hopefully bigger. I actually haven't compared the two, so we'll see. But that works pretty well. Here he is with Motor Master. That works just about perfect. Motor Master is actually a little taller than Onslaught there, and he looks just about as much of a beefcake. Here he is with Superion, or Silverbolt. Again, these guys are all working pretty well together. They're all, slightly different sizes, but I think they all work pretty well as core bodies, and that's why I'm going with this. Trying to go with the scale that I'm going with is so that all my guys can be about the same size. And as we wrap the video up, here he is with Brawl with the upgrades, Swindle with the upgrades, Blast Off with the big gun, and Vortex with the big gun. And yeah, there you go. So yeah, they look great together. He looks good in robot mode. Vehicle mode is but robot mode, he definitely does look good. Problems are obviously he doesn't hold together very well. He's got, the plastic doesn't feel like you're going to be able to give it a lot of pressure to get it into certain positions that you might need to. So be wary of that. It might fall apart on you. You saw me constantly losing the foot piece. That piece flew off. And this doesn't hold together unless it's pegged in somewhere. So it's got so many quality control issues, and I think they would have benefited if they would have just taken a little bit more time, and it was delayed as it was. Delayed to fix quality control issues to get it to this point. I would have hated to see it before. I'm not trying to bash this company, but seriously, guys, better quality on your plastic and designs. This is kind of a mess. It really could have clicked together a lot better. I would have loved to see more clicky joints that would actually lock it in. But it feels loose. I mean, I don't. There you go. It doesn't, especially like right here, this whole leg is on this one little tiny hinge that has to slightly tab in, and I mean slightly. It doesn't click in. This really should have been like snap, large, loud snap, not. I mean, it really needed to be, a really loud snap. Like, oh my god, did I break it? No, it's just really good plastic that has a really good tab. And just, I don't know. So for a rating for this guy by himself, this is not the rating of the bruticus that he becomes, but I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. Like I said, plastic quality should have been improved. Tabbing things together should have been improved. Overall design, he's a complicated transformation and he's very fidgety, but the size, I think it's just about the right complexity for it. But because nothing tabs together very well in either of these modes, it really, really suffers. It could have been awesome, with the same exact transformation. Just give the legs a little bit more to click into. Have maybe the arms plug into the legs so that's one mass, not leg here with this little hinge holding it together, and then 2 arms sitting on top. Essentially you got 4 moving parts that don't lock together. I don't count that little hinge as a locking point. So you essentially got 4 moving parts. When like this guy, when everything's all locked together, it's one truck. It holds together. The only problem is the gun doesn't click in very well. You know, I think it's a fail for this figure. Not design wise, it looks good, but quality control wise and making things lock together, it really needed some more attention to that. So there you go. There's my assessment of this thing. It's good. Could have been a lot better. Could have been so much better. So we'll look at the combined mode next, and hopefully I won't hate that.